Good evening. Police have this evening been granted another 36 hours to question Anne Marnie on suspicion of murder. Detectives have so far found the bodies of 3 babies in 2 homes in Merthyr Tydfil. Richard Nosworthy reports.
At a packed press conference this afternoon, police said their investigation is far from over. 20 officers are now working on the case.
Well, the 64-year-old lady has been arrested on suspicion of murder. So we're investigating this as a murder inquiry. That's not to say that I can conclusively say that these babies have been murdered, but we're investigating it on suspicion of murder.
64-year-old Anne Marnie was arrested on suspicion of murder yesterday lunchtime. She was well known on the estate. It's understood she worked for this community group and campaigned for better youth facilities. She'd also worked as a nurse at the nearby Prince Charles Hospital. Since her arrest, police have been guarding her home in Forsythia Close as the news spreads among locals.
Everyone's on about it. I've been down to school. All the mothers down to school are on about it.
The police have urged residents to remain calm.
No, let's keep this in perspective. We'd investigate in certain offences. We have 1 person in custody, so I don't want a sense of panic to go through the borough. That would be quite wrong and quite unnecessary.
It's emerged that Anne Marnie also once lived at this house, also on the Gurnos estate. Police say they plan to search all her former homes. Richard Nosworthy, ITV Wales News, Merthyr Tydfil.
Meanwhile, South Wales police are investigating the death of a woman at a nursing home in Neath. The 41-year-old, who hasn't been named, died at the Cedar House home yesterday. Anyone with information should call the incident room. An inquest heard how a champion rollerblader died when he clipped a curb and smashed into a lamppost at 25 miles an hour. Richard Taylor, who was 23 and from Barry, was not wearing a helmet when the accident happened. The coroner ruled that his death was accidental. Now it's just 8 hours until the polls open in this year's general election. Today all 4 major Welsh parties have been out and about trying to catch the last-minute floating voters and drum up support. Almost 2.25 million of us here in Wales are eligible to vote. Polls open at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tonight, a teenager from Pontypool is starting a 6-month sentence behind bars after ripping off customers on the eBay website. Philip Shortman ended up with more than £70,000 from his victims, as Heath Jeffries reports.
Named and shamed to protect the public, Philip Shortman's just 18. He conned 100 people across the UK, from the Thames Valley to Strathclyde. Shortman targeted shoppers on eBay, advertising and then selling goods he'd never bought and never owned. When police raided his parents' home near Pontypool, they discovered an Aladdin's cave of hardware stolen from his victims.
Some of them have lost an awful lot of money, some £2,000-3,000. Whilst to some people that's not a lot of money, to others it's a significant amount. Some people have had financial and indeed marital difficulties as a result.
The lonely teenager lived the high life. He'd been expelled from school but used the stolen money to buy himself friends, jetting off to New York, wearing designer labels and staying in 5-star hotels. But there was nothing particularly glitzy or glamorous about Shortman's methods. He threatened to kill people and taunted his victims, saying things like, "Ha ha, you've been done, and this is my business. I make people fools." Experts warn people should stick to eBay's own PayPal scheme or use a credit card. But above all, they should think first.
Use a bit of common sense, really. If something seems too good to be true, or if you get a bad feeling about the person who's trying to sell to you, then trust your gut instinct and shy away from it.
Shortman told police he became addicted to ripping people off. He'll spend 6 months in prison, then 6 months being taught how to curb that addiction. Heath Jeffries, ITV Wales News, Cardiff Crown Court.
A £79 million new investment was unveiled today at the Chorus steelmaking plant in Port Talbot. After job and profit losses in recent years, it's a huge turnaround that'll see the plant's production increase by a quarter to 5 million tonnes of steel a year.
To be world class, you need that sort of investment, and with the workforce we've got here, with their passion, with their determination, I'm sure we'll make a great success of it.
Now, you may remember last week we told you about Daniel Martin. He has Down syndrome and wants to be a chef, but he's been denied funding for a training course by Education Authority Elwa. His family have collected a 4,500 strong petition backing his case. And now Daniel's been offered a job at a pub near Caerphilly, but only if he gets those vital qualifications he needs.
I don't see why somebody who perhaps needs a little bit more special care than other people should miss out in life. And I think Daniel will give his all, and I think he'll be able to make a career out of catering.
We'll keep you posted. Cricket, and two sides were in Cheltenham and Gloucester Trophy action today. Minor county side Wales lost by 6 wickets against Nottinghamshire at St Helens, whilst Matthew Elliott's century helped Glamorgan beat Suffolk by 143 runs to secure their place in the second round. Well, time for a quick look at the weather for Wales. James Wright has the forecast.
ITV Wales weather with BMIBaby.com.
Hello again, good evening. We've got a bit of a reverse day tomorrow. Today we started off with cloud and it got brighter. Tomorrow should be a little bit brighter, at least for the south, and then getting cloudier. It starts tonight with the next band moving down from the north and west. There could be some light patchy rain on there, but with high pressure around as well, it should be fairly light and patchy. Further south, clearing skies, allowing temperatures to dip to around 7 degrees. As far as tomorrow morning's concerned, like I say, some bright spells across southern parts, but that cloud band moving ever so slowly south and east, so again, there's chance of some light patchy rain. By the time we get to the afternoon, well, 14s for the south, 12s for the north, and then the outlook for the next few days, well, generally dry, maybe some patchy rain on Saturday, but temperatures, again, on the cool side. Bye-bye.
ITV Wales weather with BMIBaby.com, the airline with tiny fares.
And that's it. I'll say goodnight and hand you back to Trevor McDonald at ITV News. From all the team here, a very good night to you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.